TIFU by taking high-dose vitamin D for over a month at night. I am living in a country where a lack of vitamin D is quite common, especially now in winter. Plus I have chronic illnesses and have to take medication, which is also a huge vitamin robber. My levels are still very low despite taking it for quite a while, so my doctor recommended to double my intake. I did. I took it mostly in the evening because I have to take quite some other things during the day and you can't take everything at once. I am used to insomnia. But in the past weeks it got worse and worse. Despite me being very tired and exhausted, I am about to graduate soon. It was only by chance that I found out that you should not take vitamin D at night because it prevents the body from producing melatonin. Quite logical when you think about it. But neither the doctor nor the lady at the pharmacy said something about it, and it wasn't written anywhere. I posted about it on my private social media accounts and there are a lot of people who also didn't know. TLDR. Vitamin D prevents your body from producing melatonin when you take it at night, which I did for weeks. Edit. Some asked for a source. However, the original source is in my mother tongue and it's not English. Here's one link I found, for example, https://www.bulletproof.com/sleep/sleep-with-vitamin-d/P2, and I also stumbled across the links that there's no full research on it. However, there seem to be a lot of people who can relate. I thought it was funny. I wanted to roast myself for being stupid and didn't expect it to blow up. I forgot to add it, but of course you should always check in with a doctor and pharmacist and not changing something about your medication all alone. The fuck? Are you serious? This explains so much. I never thought I'd learn something helpful from a TIFU. Most are cautionary tales about the perils of excessive horny behavior or obvious poor choices. Pharmacist here. Reading all of these comments is very disheartening. Whenever there is a post about drugs, medical care, etc., there are always masses of people who seem to want to change their medical care because they saw something on Reddit. Luckily, vitamin D is a more benign example. Not relating directly to Ops post. * Don't take advice from random people in the internet, especially medical advice. * Do take the concern back to your medical provider for clarification. * Even if the op gives a source, I highly recommend still asking your provider about it before changing your care. Being able to read and accurately decipher medical papers actually takes a lot of training and practice. You cannot simply read the conclusion and take it at face value. Taking that a step further, it can be difficult, even for trained professionals, to accurately determine where the paper fits into medical practice. There is way too much to unpack with literature interpretation, but I wish it was something that started teaching in high school. To address the questions about OP's post and some incorrect things I have seen in comments. For my advice, don't take my word for it. Get a second opinion from your pharmacist or doctor. * Timing of your vitamin D doesn't affect how you sleep that night. * Yes, vitamin D is involved in the production of melatonin. You can Google image search some pathways. Just because you see X substance inhibiting another in pathways like this, does not mean you can draw type of conclusions in Ops post. * Vitamin D should be taken with food, preferably largest meal of the day, for max absorption. Otherwise it will go right through you. * Vitamin D is relatively harmless, but you definitely can have too much. Stick to OTC dosing and you will be fine. Not so fun fact. For some reason news agencies in the early 2010s started to run stories about how bad statins were. An insane number of people stopped taking their med and never touched base with their doctors. Studies have been done on this event and the estimated harm is unbelievable. Okay, I'm a dietitian, and I have never heard of it. Did some quick research and there have been no studies reporting vitamin D affecting sleep negatively when taken within safe levels. Instead, most studies report improvements in sleep quality and duration when supplemented with vitamin D. Where did you find this information from and what studies or papers were cited? I am genuinely curious. It would affect my practice and the whole field of dietetics a lot if this is the case. We prescribe and recommend vitamin D supplementation to many patients, so I would feel very bad if we were causing sleep issues. Edit. I am by no means invalidating your statement that vitamin D has disrupted your sleep. I just want to learn more. Edit 2. OP has linked a website with an article. It's written by Bulletproof staff and reviewed for scientific accuracy by a naturopath. Some studies are cited, with reference number 3 being non-existent. But the main study used to support the claim that vitamin D suppresses melatonin production is Golan D., Ston Ram E., Glass Marmor L., Levy I., Rosenberg O., Disson S., et al. The influence of vitamin D supplementation on melatonin status in patients with multiple sclerosis. Brain Behave Immune. 2013-32, 180-5. doi. 10.1016/j.b.2013.04. 010 I do not have time to look through it, but seems like it's quite a small study and only on MS subjects. Plus it is only one study showing that, and the authors only found a correlation. Based on all of that, I think that the article is a load of pseudoscience. But hey, if you think taking vitamin D at night affects your sleep, then take it in the day, but don't spread misinformation. Be careful what you read and take advice from on the internet. Always check your sources for reliability and accuracy. We live in a world of flat earthers and many other, interesting schools of thought. Let's try and keep those to a minimum. Well till. Great info, didn't know that. Also make sure you always combine your vitamin D intake with some fats and make sure you also supplement on magnesium while taking vitamin D. High dosages of vitamin D can cause a magnesium deficiency. Interesting, I take 1000 mg every night before bed and I still pass right out lol. Though I haven't been sleeping awesome lately. Maybe I'll try to start taking it in the morning and see what happens. Edit. Please do not take 1000 mg of vitamin D. I was speaking of vitamin C. Apparently I overlooked where op said vitamin D again. 1000 mg of vitamin D is very bad. The reason why no one in healthcare ever mentioned anything is because this claim currently has no scientific evidence. Many people really be lacking the basic life skill of processing claims as valid or not. Everyone in here, when you see greater than found out that you should not take vitamin D at night because you go. Found out from where? You don't go, till. You ain't learned shit today. I was taking my vitamins before bed because I heard you just piss out most of it and my thought process was I can't piss it out if I'm not pissing. Ha wow I've been fucking up. Look at this shit, an entire thread of upvoted misinformation. The op is wrong and there is no sound science on their claim, yet 90% of the people here are taking this at face value. Op didn't even link any studies in their post, just fucking shouted their lingo confidently and people ate it up. By the looks of things, this comes under the bracket of further research necessary. That being said, it does make sense. Vitamin D is delivered to the body through sunlight, so a large dose of vitamin D hitting the body in the evenings could send the body the signal that the sun's still out, reducing melatonin production. Of course, that's pure conjecture on my part. Holy fuck, I did not know this. We have a baby who takes Vit D drops in his bottles. I'm going to remember this. FYILPT. This post and many of the comments are filled with medical and supplement misinformation. Reddit has truly become an untrustworthy source on important topics. I take it every night, no sleeping problems. Hooah. Damn, I take a very high dose of vitamin C before bed, vitamin D, B, and zinc. I actually made the connection that this was giving me nightmares and I periodically stopped taking it. I was literally prescribed prazosin for this, alpha blocker that also reduces PTSD dreams. Thanks for posting this. Please people, report this post for misinformation before it gets any more upvotes. Also, take it with meals. Vit D is fat soluble. Without fat, much less of it will be absorbed. I had a deficiency in vitamin D and in my research I noticed a lot of people saying to take it during the daytime because that's when your body naturally gets vitamin D from the sun. So I always take it in the morning and it seems to have helped my daytime tiredness. I had no idea doing the opposite gives you insomnia.